that is not an error. What we'll do is just close the Visual Studio Code and relaunch again. That is because of the sync issue, it might be that error you will be getting it. Okay. Okay, what are the things that I wanted to check is under your UI test you have written the code orange.specs.ts. Okay, now take me to the package.json. Go to the package.json. Okay, what is the things that you have added after this line number 21? Did you add it from your side?
No, I didn't add. I didn't touch anything in package.
We didn't add anything in package.json, but still we are getting this process error.
You're also getting Sakshi?
I'm saying we didn't add anything, but still we guys are getting this error, and once we make it commented, the test cases are running successfully.
What commented they're making successfully? Which line?
In the config, the process, the error is showing now, the lines which are showing the errors.
Yeah, that's fine. That will handle it. Just comment the line number 20.
Yeah.
Line the 20. Comment the line number 22, and also comment the line number 24. Okay. Now go to the package.json and remove this line number 21, comma after comma onwards. Just select that everything till the last. Control X. Okay. And let's paste it somewhere else. Keep it somewhere in the notepad, in your local notepad. No, notepad. Open your notepad in your system. Open the notepad.
Okay, I didn't control X that. I'll just delete that. Yeah.
Okay, go there in the and wait. No, go to the package.json.
Okay, so
wait, dependency that is there, and then go to the dev dependency. It is there. Go up. I wanted to see where all the go up little more. Line number 1. You have this. Can you put a cursor on the line number 1? In the they're showing some error. Unable to load a schema. Forbidden. The server is refusing to respond. Okay, that's okay. We'll try to see this later. Okay. Now do one thing. Now go to the terminal. Open the terminal. Yes, you're doing correct. Now, yes, just say npx playwright test. Let's run and check. Script is disabled on this system for npx. Okay, do one thing. From the right side drop down, select the command prompt. Or you already have a command prompt at the down.
Yeah.
Click. Yes. Try to run this.
Here it works fine.
Yes, that's okay. Then you continue here now.
Yeah.
See, your PowerShell, it is blocked by your system. Got it?
Yeah. Yes.
Your IT, because they will have a lot of things through firewall, right? Security concern, they may not allow.
So not only for system, for all the systems, it's blocking for the PowerShell. We can able to run only for the command prompt.
Correct, right? And then continue. See, PowerShell and command prompt. Only the difference is PowerShell remember all your command, even though you close the Visual Studio Code. Got it?
Yeah.
Nathan? But if you are using the command prompt, what happen is it basically it's a timeout issue that we know that why. We'll discuss about that. The reason is this application is very slow. Plus we have to do couple of more other changes which I'll talk now. Okay, so your code is working, your setup is ready. What you can do is just that one more thing you can do, Nitin, is go to the config file and let's set up all those standard. Okay, now after the line, wait, go up. After the line number 18, you have given the fully parallel false, change it to true.
Okay.
Okay, and after that, comma, press enter. Write a worker here. Worker, press enter, colon, 1, comma, 1, comma. Give comma. You have to give comma, then next time we'll throw that. Come down. Okay, you have added all the trace, headless. Headless is false, very good. A screenshot on, video on. Come down. You have a Chrome browser, comment the other two browser, Firefox, WebKit, because we are in the development phase. We don't want to unnecessarily run our script on all the browsers. Okay.
Abhinav, one request I want to make here. Nitin, please off the video part. Then you can run the test cases successfully. Otherwise, it will throw an error. I don't know the reason behind this, Abhinav. Yeah, that was happening on my system also and Bala's system also.
No.
Right,
We
Bala?
tried in the morning. We tried in the morning, Abhinay, but when we are going to do for the video is on, then it's a throwing error. We tried with off mode, it's working fine.
Wait.
You can try this.
No. Sakshi, what error is throwing? There is no logic involved.
Same error what I'm seeing here. The same error. It is failing due to some exceeded time and all.
Wait. That does not have any connection at all. Let me tell you very frankly, guys. So don't misguide yourself. Don't misguide anyone. Okay? Simple.
Okay.
It is nothing to do with videos.
Okay? No. I'm just saying because video is taking more bandwidth.
No, Sakshi, wait. I got your point.
Okay.
I am with you. What I'm trying to say, application called video का कोई लेना देना. Okay. So that I'll talk about. That's what I'm saying. Because what you said is absolutely not a valid point at all. Because think logically, Sakshi and everyone. Yes, your script would have, after commenting, would have passed. It not because of the video. Because of the time that when you are executing Sakshi, that time your application would be slow. And luckily, when you commented out, the application would have been fast. It would have been executed. For example, Nitin, you can just go and say double commented video, /, and there is a high chance that it is going to work, right? But is that the such a solution? Answer is no. That is not the solution. Okay. So good point. Good that we are discussing because we all have now run that script. See, everyone, please remember that I have given you application which is purposefully, which has some slowness, some other kind of issues, right? You need to understand those technicality part. You don't have to, and that is where we are also trying to give you all situational based scenario to all of you, because my whole purpose is to make sure that people understand that, okay, hey, if this issue happen, what could be the reason? If this issue happen, what could be the reason, right? So concern is any scenario, any problem will have a multiple reason behind failure, right? Failure cannot be treated as a like, okay, hey, it is because of this or because of that. It can have a multiple reason. We'll talk about that anyway. Okay, everyone, till here clear?
Got your point, Abhinav.
Yes. So, if you see here now, in case of this, still it is failing, right? In system, right? And if you look at the error message, all of you, if you look at the error message carefully, you will notice something. Because this is a purposefully, I wanted all of you to have a problem in front of you, analyze the problem, understand. Because this is the difference between manual and automation testing. In automation, it's all tool is doing. The way you will guide, they'll behave accordingly. Your guidance is wrong, they'll do wrong. Your guidance is correct, they'll do correct. Understand this kind of concept. Automation has a very thin line, difference. And so if you see here, by looking the error, Nitin and everyone, what you are able to understand. First of all, Playwright has one of the best error message, closer to the reality, okay, and almost accurate error message, almost accurate. It is trying to almost convey that what is the reason for failure. Okay, if you see line number 12, it is showing the arrow mark. Nitin, can you highlight that?
Yeah.
Line number 12. See, before that line number 12, can you see one arrow mark is there right now? Line number 12, somewhere line, no, not that arrow mark, before line number 12. You can see that arrow mark, is right? It's clearly saying it failed on that place. If you go and see the reason for failure in the red color, it is clearly showing. You can see the error. If you read that error, Nitin, it is showing down the error. There is a somewhere error is written, the second line. What is written? Locator dot click. ऊपर में है देखो कोई error लिखा हुआ है Nitin? देख रहे हो ना? बहुत clearly लिखा हुआ है guys. Very clearly it's conveying you. It's saying that locator dot click test timed out. They did not click on that object. How long waited? It waited for 30,000 milliseconds. 30,000 milliseconds means 30. Remember we talked about every tool in this world have a default time is 30 seconds. Right? Now, what comes in your mind? You will have a thought process that because my application is slow, right? Agree? That is what by looking that anyone will understand, but that is not the reality. Reality is, see, look at the line number 12, what you are trying to do, Nitin. You are trying to do page.get by text. You are clicking on that user by name called Maruti, called Wale something and dot click. Correct, na?
Yeah.
Now go to the application, Nitin. Go to the Orange HRM application, login. Okay, अब नितिन ऊपर देखो कहीं पे दिख रहा है मालो वाले समथिंग यूजर ने?
No.
अब क्या हो गया ये बताओ? Now it is called Manda user something, right?
Yeah.
So basically it's a problem of a script. When you recorded Nitin, that time there was a that user. Got it? Now the user has changed. Understood? So this is a classical case of dynamic. You remember yesterday I talked about?
Yeah.
In application, you have something called guys dynamic. First of all, there is nothing called dynamic in automation. Dynamic is there, but it is called known dynamic, and there is an unknown dynamic. Here, what Nitin and everyone try to understand, we are not supposed to click by username because username is keep changing. In automation, the first guidelines is your object identification mechanism should be always based on the static value, not the dynamic value. Because automation and manual, this is the difference. Human can judge, human can guess. If Nitin see here, today Manda user, tomorrow something else, still Nitin can perform because Nitin is a human, he can go and click. Tool and any automation tool in this world cannot do that. Got it? So what is my requirement here is guys? I have to write a something which is what? Not a dynamic. It should be static. Now you are able to understand? Everyone? Okay. Now to do that, in Nitin and everyone, you have a two choice. Either you can go and write a script, correct? Or if you don't want to invest your time, go and record it. What I'm supposed to record? I'm supposed to click on that icon called the face value. You can see that now? Picture showing. You're supposed to, because that picture is not going to change. If it is going to change also, the developer would have given that. So basically your purpose is in automation always find some static locator. 99.9% your locator should be static. Got it? Otherwise your automation will have a tough time. Okay, how will I do it, Nitin? And Nitin, you have a code gen. You remember that we have discussed about the code gen?
Yes.
Okay, everyone. So Nitin, if you have a code gen, please go type the and paste the script. URL देना पड़ेगा ना नितिन? कैसे रन करेगा? Without
URL. Or can give.
Okay. And already Nitin, you have a code for everything. I don't want to record that part. So pause the recording and manually log into the application. There is a pause button on top. Yes. Now manually login, because Nitin requirement is only to handle that logout part. Okay. Now do one thing, Nitin. Start the recording. Click on that picture. Here they are identifying saying get by role banner, right? So they are identifying as a banner, not like a. Click on that. Just click कर लीजिए Nitin. Yes. And then stop the recording, because I want only that. My logout is not a problem. Only the problem is that, right? Now go to the Playwright inspector. Yes. And copy only that line. Maximize. Copy that. Go back to your script. Close this browser.
Yeah, that's it. So
Change that line. Keep that line also, comment it just so that you will have a reference point. And below to that you paste it. Okay? Now close the browser. The moment you close the browser, the code gen will become free.
Should I run the script now?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. अभी आपको चेक करोगे कि वो काम कर रहा है कि नहीं कर रहा है.
Yeah, it's passed.
Okay, fine guys. Now please go back to Nitin there. Config file. Enable the video.
I couldn't see the trays also. Okay.
Yeah, why you don't see that? You understood right now. Now please run that again.
Got the point, Abhinav. Thank you.
Everyone clear, right? And absolutely guys, there was no other. See, the reason is what I wanted to tell
Because
you.
I tried multiple times, that's why I commented on this. Sorry.
I'm not saying that what you said is right or wrong. What I'm trying to say that we all have to focus on. See, the reason is, you know why I have given this application purposeful, because you will learn a lot from the mistakes, not from the what I talk. See, just now Nitin did a lot of things. It's okay. It's a part of that, right? Now you are able to see everything. So you have to basically understand. ठीक है कि ये क्यों हो रहा है, right? Is everything in automation is logic, right? And again, Sakshi would have understood now one thing. If you remember my first day statement, what I said, automation is all about application knowledge, right?
Correct.
You would agree with my first two statement. Automation is all about application knowledge and object identification. You are done, your 50% problem solved. Classical example just now I showed you, right? See, recording or AI. Remember, Sakshi, nowadays people are talking about AI, right? AI is not going to replace us, Sakshi. AI is not going to replace us. AI will replace you if you don't adopt AI. If you don't adopt AI. Because you know what AI is doing? Whatever you are doing manually, they are already doing. What you are doing in a 1 hour, they are doing in a 1 minute. Obviously, why market need someone, human, but what AI cannot do that, AI cannot replace Sakshi mind. Remember that. Because there is no alternative of brain. Logic, thought process, they cannot think. See, we just write anything, we wrote the code through the code gen. What code gen will do? Wherever you will click, they will perform that action, correct?
Yes.
How will they understand whether it is a static or dynamic? They'll not understand.
Yeah.
That sense only human has. And that is what I was also telling you guys. Playwright has built everything. Why? Because they want to save your time. They want you to spend your energy and time for that work which required brain. See, example, go to the orangehrm.spec.ts. Whatever I have written here, Nitin, if you see, technically in today's world, it does not require any brain. Agree? It's a predefined steps. There is a lot of AI-based LLM is available. You go and tell them, hey, give me the steps for that. That is exactly Playwright code Jen is doing. Nothing else. What they don't have? They don't have a brain. They don't have a logical thinking. They don't have a. They are doing based on the guided approach. You remember, Nitin and everyone, I told you, 90% object in Playwright is going to be identified with the one locator. What is that locator name I told you? Locator strategy?
Get by role.
Get by role. Look at your code. Nitin, आप अपनी सारी कोड देखो, लाइन नंबर 5, लाइन नंबर 6, लाइन नंबर 7, 8, 9, जहां भी देखोगे सब जगह रोल ही है. Agree?
Yes.
Why? Because that is how the Playwright has been guided. That is how they have built one of the best locator that you don't find in any other automation tool. Right? Okay. Anyone else, guys? Good. So Nitin, you are all good to go. You can continue your journey under the UI test. You can close all other things.
Yeah, sure, Abhinay. Thanks.
Anyone else who has an issue, feel free, because the purpose is, yes, if you perform, you face a lot of problem. When you face problem, right, it is easy to handle, easy to, but if you don't perform, right, and if you just watch my screen, right, or you're going to take my code, there is a high chances that you are not going to. Okay, so it is important, guys, that if you're able to solve this and able to perform it, it's it make more sense. Okay. Fine. So we will go to the next. Sharing my screen. We'll go to the next. Okay. So remember, guys, I told you to read something called async and await and come back. Anyone has done that? Research around that? Anyone got any? So this morning we talked about concept called, right, Playwright architecture, what they are using it, right, how they are handling it, We discuss all those concepts, right? Now, the another things that I wanted to discuss with all of you guys, that if you see any of the Playwright code, you guys will notice one thing. What is that you are going to notice? And that is called, okay, we have a concept guys called await and async. Everywhere you can see, and someone will ask you, why does that? So remember that is nothing to do with Playwright. It's not a concept of Playwright. It is a concept of what? It's a concept of Node.js. So everyone, please remember that, right? Anywhere you are using the, right, JavaScript and TypeScript, that's what I call them as a Node.js, you will always see these two things, await and async. And if someone asks you why we don't use in the other language, but why we use in JavaScript. So let me talk about that, guys, which is another important aspect that most of the people should know that, right? So the first things is that you all have to know what is async and await concept in JavaScript and why to be used. And just to compare that, to give you everyone clarity around that, guys, let's compare. See, you all know that whenever I am using Java, we don't write anything like that. But why do we use in JavaScript and TypeScript? Basically in the Node.js. And simple reason is very simple. This is another reason why JavaScript and TypeScript is very famous in market. Nowadays, any other tools or library which is going to getting released in the market, they are mostly using the JavaScript and TypeScript. In fact, for front-end programming, lot of developers, they'll use generally the JavaScript TypeScript. The reason being is JavaScript and TypeScript rendering happens very fast. Your page will load very, very fast. Okay? But it comes with a one challenge. And the challenge is you guys have to understand that, right? So Java, if you're using Java, guys, Java is called as a synchronous program. And JavaScript and TypeScript is basically called as an asynchronous program. You know what is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous? So difference is Java always execute line by line. Example, suppose I have written this. So first line is, suppose I have a driver.get. Until this line will get executed, it will never go to the next line. And same format it will follow. That's why in Java, in C#, in Python, you never see anyone using a await or async. But in JavaScript, TypeScript, why do we use? Because they are asynchronous mode. Asynchronous means parallel. They also call it a parallel mode, or we also call it a parallel programming. Means in JavaScript and TypeScript, what happens, guys, is, see, suppose this is my code. Here, if you don't use await and async, you know what will happen? All the line will execute parallelly. What is the meaning of all the line will execute parallelly? By the time it is trying to open the URL, it will go and try to click on the log. Or it will try to go and verify the dashboard. Or it will try to click on the log. Because this is why the JavaScript is very fast. This is another reason. If you use any automation tool or library with JavaScript and TypeScript, you will see the execution is very fast. So Playwright, reason behind faster is not about their architecture. It is also because of the JavaScript and TypeScript. Same Playwright you go and use with Java, you will see it will become slow. Okay. Now the concern is I cannot do like that, because by the time it is trying to open the URL and it try to go and try to go and delete, click on the logout. How it will work? Without login you can't get logout, right? Your test script will start failing. So in JavaScript, wherever you are using, you are always going to add this await. Now some people will ask you, what is await? Why do we use await? So basically, await and async. Await and async. These two basically makes them, the purpose of these two is to make makes your code as a sync line by line. Is like also called in a very technical term, promise concept. So you are telling them, hey, wait for this line to get executed, then we'll go to next line. So await basically make them to wait. And await is, guys, remember, always at the line level. Async is always at the function level. Why? Because suppose under the one test, under the one script, I have a suppose two tests. Right? One test is doing one job, another test is doing, and I want to run the second test after the first test. Got it? So that is why here we add a generally async, right? Async purpose is now wait for this method to get executed before going to the next one. Don't execute both of them together because they might have some, right? So remember, guys, if someone asks you what is the difference between async versus await, is what basically I asked for. And await. If you go and search, very clearly you get a message. See, async and await both are the JavaScript keyword. What is the JavaScript keyword? Every programming language you go, guys, we have a something called reserved keyword. Go to Java, you have a reserved keyword. These are all keyword. Class, public, extend, public, void, import. Similar way, JavaScript also has a keyword. Whatever you are able to see, all these things in the blue color, these are all your reserved keyword. That is exactly saying. Used to write a cleaner, synchronous style or synchronous code. So basically you are making asynchronous programming to the synchronous. Replacing the promise, changing. Async marks a function to return a promise, while await pauses the execution until that promise is due. Understood, guys? Everyone clear? So async is always placed before a function declaration. Ensure that the function returns a promise, means output, and await is always placed inside the async function before a, and what it does, it suspends the function execution waiting for the promise to return. So that is how you will see, before function we always write async at the function level, await is always at the line. Clear, guys? Everyone understood? And in a very simple language, we are trying to make them as a synchronous program. Now some people can ask me this question also, because you will be asked this question. Okay, if I make them as a synchronous, then it will become slow. That is what your,
yes,
that is what your,
that will be my next question. Yeah.
Yes. That was your next question, right?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely, yes, and it's a valid. See, we are making them synchronous. Purpose of that, to tell them that until this, because technically also you all know that, without opening the URL, can I enter the username? No. Without doing the login, can I go and click on the logout? Answer is no, because everything is dependent upon. That is what we are writing our await. But that does not mean that you are telling them to execute sequentially. What is that you are doing? You are telling them that yes, wait for this guy to get complete, then you go and execute. That does not mean that you are telling them not to execute. even though you add await, what will happen is, in JavaScript and TypeScript, everything will execute parallel, all these lines, but they will wait for previous line to get finished. But in Java is like this. In Java, first they'll go run this line. Once this is executed, done and dusted, then they will go and execute this line. Now some people will say that I didn't understood, because let me give you the layman example. Let's take an example. Kavita is staying on the 5th floor. In some apartment 5th floor, she got some 10 items from some online store. She has ordered it and they have kept it near to security. Now she has to go and take that item. So if she follow the Java concept, you know what she is going to do? She will go from 5th floor to ground floor, take one item, come, kept it inside the house. Again she will go down. That is Java. This is what we call as a line by line. But you know what will happen in JavaScript case? Because you have add await. What is the meaning of await? You are telling them until this executed you cannot. It means what you are trying, JavaScript says that, fine, I will execute after the sequence, because you are telling me, but there is no rule written saying that Kavita cannot go and take all the item. So in JavaScript language, what Kavita will do, she will go from 5th floor to down, take all the 5 items, she'll come and kept it outside her main door in the house, 5th floor, because she cannot take all at a time because of the await. So what she will do, she will take one by one and keep it inside the house. So she is going to save the time of going every time 5th to down, come back, 5th to down, come back 5 times. She is not going to do that. That is exactly that. Even though we add await, we are not telling JavaScript not to execute. We are telling that you everything get loaded, be ready. As soon as the first is executed, next one will suddenly go, third one, that's what you would have seen, that is very fast while execution time. When I run any program, it will be very fast. And it's all because of the JavaScript. Because JavaScript has an asynchronous nature, parallelly. That's what any application nowadays which is a front-end programming, they are doing it, generally getting developed using the JavaScript TypeScript. Because today world, if you are typing any application, right, customer has a very less patience. I want the page to be loaded very fast. Understood, guys? And that's why JavaScript and TypeScript become very famous for front-end program. Okay? Everyone clear, guys?
One question. So basically, what async is doing, it is also performing the same, whatever you just explained to us, right? This layman example. Await is just doing that line by line, and async is doing that at a function level. But what you explain?
Simple example I'll tell you. Suppose you have on the 5th floor, you have a 3 house, right? I want first your house things to get done, then the second house, then the third house. So I'll put the async at the house level, await at the line level. That's all. Both are trying to resolve the problems. Means what I'm trying to say, hey, once this is done, then go for the next method. Got it?
Understood. Thank you.
Okay, guys, everyone clear? Okay. The reason is, these things nowadays, most of the things are coming on the. Okay. Now some people can ask, because I'll be covering that part also. See, the JavaScript was already there. Now why the Microsoft came up with a language called TS? Anyone knows? Already the JavaScript was there. Why they brought the TS?
There is type concept in that, right? Data type, which is not there in Java. Java is more flexible that way. We don't need to declare. So
Data
I'm not
type.
trying to put. Yeah.
Absolutely. See, guys, remember, JavaScript and TypeScript both are 100% same. 100%. 99.99. Only the difference between JavaScript and TypeScript is one major difference. What she was saying is absolutely valid point. You know why people like the Java? Because Java is a very structured program. In Java, you cannot declare anything without the data types. See here, I'm going to declare this variable. I have to say string, I have to say int, I have to say float, I have to say data types is there, right? JavaScript does not follow the data types. In JavaScript, there is no concept of data types. See, I'll say some variable, I'll say name, and I'll say like this, Abhi. You know, I'm talking about in a JavaScript language, and if I'll say name equal to, and I'll say name equal to false. You know how they're going to behave? Based on the data. So for this, they will behave as a string, for this, they will behave as an integer, and for this, they will behave as a boolean. But you can't do that in the Java. In Java, you have to mention like this. Because Java is a very structured language. But JavaScript does not. Otherwise, there is no difference between Java versus JavaScript. Every other concept remains same, what you guys have learned in Java. Java also has a concept of method, class. JavaScript also has. Java also has a concept of encapsulation, inheritance, constructor, collection, arrays, conditional statement. Everything is same in JavaScript. The only thing is, why Microsoft came up with a TypeScript? Because for the enterprises application, when you are going to deal with the banking, finance and all, right? Security is one of the biggest concerns. And moment you ignore the data types, you are breaching the security. Got it? So Microsoft has to bring back the concept of data types. That's what I said. In testing world, JavaScript and TypeScript does not matter a lot. Because if you see here, I'll show you. This is my JavaScript. See here guys, this is my JavaScript. See, sorry, TypeScript. Orange HRM login.aspects.ts. And this is my JavaScript. See, orange HRM.aspects.js. Are you guys able to find any difference between JavaScript and TypeScript? Answer is no. You know why? Because 95% your command is Playwright command. Everything is Playwright. There's nothing here is JavaScript or TypeScript. In fact, down the line I'll be using JavaScript, TypeScript, but only 5%. 95% things are still related to Playwright. Plus, in testing, whether you are using JavaScript or TypeScript doesn't matter too much. The reason being is, your code is not going to get exposed outside the SCM. Your code will be within the project, you're not doing development, remember that. So whether you are following JavaScript or you are following a TypeScript, it doesn't matter. Got my point guys? Everyone clear? Okay. So, it's good to know, always use the latest technology. That's what I said. The only difference that you will find is the data types. Now, if I go and declare the same thing, like example I told you, right, in JavaScript, I can do like this. Same thing you go and do it in the TypeScript, it will not work. TypeScript will throw the error. You know why? Because TypeScript follow the data types. It means you have to go and tell, hey, this is a string. But JavaScript does not have a. That's all. Otherwise, rest everything, syntax, function, method, class, object, inheritance, constructor, encapsulation, anything, all same. In fact, it is all same for any programming language. You guys would have heard about something called operators, right? In programming, any programming language. What are the operators, guys? You guys have heard about? Many kind of different operators you would have heard about. Arithmetic operator, right? Right? What are the other operators? In Java also you have. Many people know Java, right? You would have comparison operator. Any example of comparison operator? Anyone?
Equals, not equals.
Correct.
Greater than.
Greater than.
Yeah. Any example of arithmetic operators? Plus,
minus into
plus minus.
divided.
Do you think it's a concept of Java? No, it's a concept of programming. You remember by this statement what I told you? Why I was also telling you that okay, don't focus on this guys. What? You understood why I was telling you? Why I was giving the priority to this guys? Because this is your heart and soul of any programming language. See, 95% command will be your Playwright. And in 5% whatever is left, in that 4% will be your programming concept. 0.8% will be your logic, and only the programming language matter is 0.2%. Because programming language is, only the languages differ is in this way. If you go to Java, Java follow very strict. Java should have a package will have a class will have a method. But JavaScript does not have such guidelines. You can have a directly method, you can have a class method. They are liberal, they are very open in nature. In Java, data types is mandatory, but JavaScript is not mandatory. Rest everything is common. Everything is common. Okay?
Abhinay, I have a query.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were talking about async and await, right? Mm-hmm. So assume that in a class I have some 20 test cases and I will have to run that class. Mm-hmm. So would you tell me if with the help of async and await I will be able to run all 20 test cases in sequence?
Yes, yes. That is how it runs. See, remember in Selenium Java, to make it as a sequence, like example, I want to run first this, then second this, and then the third this, you have to give a priority, right? Here you don't have to give priority. Here only the concept of putting in the order. First test, second test, third test. See, more than the async, you have to think like a multiple function. See, each test are independent. We are not talking about async is dependent upon each other. Async is basically once this entire statement is executed, then only the async will end. Means then this finally test should close. Test should return that yes, done. Got it? So async as a method level, function level, like how in the Java you have a method, right? This is called method now in Java. Mm-hmm. Same concept in JavaScript or TypeScript we call as a function. So we are making async as a function saying that okay, hey, within you, all your house should be clean. Within the house, all your things should be clean. Then only you will be allowed to proceed next. Got it? But that does not mean that it is dependent on each other. Until this is get executed, the next will not be. See, that is a design pattern. I can have a two tests and both of them I can run parallelly. But that does not have any dependency. So async is nothing to do with that, okay, the next is dependent upon this, hence I am giving async. No, async is for this method. Within the method, every line get executed, then the async will get executed. In the sense, async is waiting for everyone to finish. It's like example, in my family, I have a 6 member. Every 6 member complete the task, then I will say, yes, my task is done. Understood?
Yes, so irrespective of any test, everything will run parallelly as well.
Correct.
What if there's a dependency between two tests?
That we have that Playwright has handled it. That we'll discuss. Got it?
Okay.
That is Playwright concept. That Playwright has introduced the concept. That see, because Playwright has built everything. Here if you see, if you remember in Selenium, everything goes with the web order, right? You are writing everything and writing like this. We say creator, driver, reference. Playwright does not have a such. Playwright has by default page. So page will by default refer to your config file. They'll refer to the process. And they will run whichever the browser you mentioned here, they'll go and run everything. That's what in Playwright you don't have to write launch browser and close browser, right? You don't have that concept because that is inbuilt concept. Everything Playwright has taken care. What you said is a very valid point. Suppose I have a 3 test, all 3 are independent to each other, does not have any dependency. And what you said is, suppose I have a test where I need to run them based on the dependency, then it's a different ballgame. Then you have to handle it at the Playwright level. That is a Playwright headache, not the JavaScript or TypeScript headache.
Okay.
Similar concept like Java. In Java, see, you go here, this method I have given down, but this is going to run always at the first. Why? Because we are controlling through this annotation. Correct, ma'am? It doesn't matter where it is written in the sequence, right? It is matter because of this annotation. Same concept Playwright has also built it. Dependency, independent.
So without having to have this annotation of before test or before each test, still there's a dependency of only one test that is going to get executed. We still have another concept, right? Parallel and sequential of declaring.
Yes. The reason is, Playwright do not want to compromise with execution time. Imagine you have a 2 tests you have written and both does not have a dependency on each other. Why should I go and run them as a sequence wise? I'll go to the config and say worker as a 2 and let both the tests run parallelly. Understood now?
Yeah.
But in Selenium I cannot do like that. Because Selenium everything goes through the dependency. You have to write a lot of logic of but here everything is controlled by the config file and controlled by the Playwright. And they have given you every choice. We'll see that. Perfect. Till here everyone is clear, guys. So your architecture is clear, Playwright architecture is clear, right? See, Playwright is faster because of the 2 reasons. First is Playwright is using the concept of WebSocket. Whereas Selenium is following the concept of API call. Today world, WebSocket is a concept which is a new technology, and that's what Playwright. So anyone think the Playwright is faster just because Playwright is faster because of the 2 reasons. One is their architecture called WebSocket, and second is if you use Playwright with JavaScript and TypeScript, then you will find another same Playwright you go and use with Java, you will see it will become slow. Because Java is a sequence program, synchronous program. It doesn't execute parallelly, it executes sequentially. Like what I was giving example for Kavita. From 5th floor, they'll go one by one, take the item. So Playwright is faster only with JavaScript and TypeScript. Same Playwright you go and use with other language, it will be slow. There will be a difference of 4 to 5 seconds in the execution time. plus. But yes, Playwright is irrespective of any language you are using, still it is better than Selenium and any other library because of Playwright follow the WebSocket. What is WebSocket concept? WebSocket is like a phone call. API is like a... So in WebSocket concept, what happens, you know? Suppose I am going to execute this program. Playwright will make a connection here. They will establish the connection with the browser and they will execute all the line and finally they'll close the program. So this is called WebSocket. Means it is like, understand as a layman. I call Sakshi in a Playwright language I'm saying, and I'll talk to Sakshi. Until I cut the call, our connections are established. But in the same language, if you go with the Selenium, in Selenium, because Selenium follow the API calls. API calls means for each call, they'll make one connection. So suppose I'm going to talk to Sakshi in the Selenium language. You know how my behavior will be? I'll connect the call, I'll say hi, disconnect the call. Again, I'll connect the call, I'll say how, disconnect the call. Again, I'll connect, I'll say are, disconnect. Again, connect you. So to say how are you, in Playwright, I'll do in one call, but in Selenium, I have to make a 5 call. Because for each line, Selenium will go and establish the call with your browser. That's why Selenium is so. Because API send a request, get a response, connection disconnect. Again, next line will send a request, get a response, connection disconnected. Third line, but in Playwright it doesn't happen. Playwright has a complete one test function is a one call. That's why it is fast. Now you understood why Playwright is 50% faster than Selenium? Thanks to two concepts. One is WebSocket and second is JavaScript and TypeScript. Same Playwright you go and use with Java, you will see the performance will come down to 25. Why not 25? Because they are still using WebSocket. But the Java is a synchronous programming because it always follow line by line. Because of that, the 25% impact is coming. And that is why it is advisable. If you are using Playwright, always use Playwright with JavaScript or TypeScript. Don't use any other line. In fact, whenever Playwright will release any new features, they will first implement on JavaScript and TypeScript. After a month, they will implement that feature in other languages. Because they do not have a bandwidth. They know that my 90% audience is using the JavaScript and TypeScript. There are some people are still using Java with Playwright. But I told you, right, I am not a great fan of language because language only provide you the structure, nothing else. Okay, that is structure wise, guys, you are clear. If someone asks you what is WebSocket versus API call? Anyone, any question, doubt? Superb. Now let's go for, suppose my requirement is this. I wanted to automate this requirement. What requirement? I wanted to go to the Orange HRM, right? Enter the username, enter the password. You can see, guys, right? Application is now a little slow. That's what this morning you remember. We talked about 2 types of time. Okay, I want to go to the add user. Click on the add user add button. And this is my requirement. I wanted to what operation I am doing? In the morning I talked about CRUD operation. Which operation I am doing? CRUD.
C.
Create. Correct now? What is my job is to come and verify whether the user got created or not. Correct. Now, if I have to automate these things, guys, do you think I should go and write a script for this? My answer is no. Why should I write it? Because it's a monotonous job. But you have to do that in Selenium. See here, I've done also. You don't require, that's what the Playwright is saying. Hey, I have a code gen features, please record it. Save your time. Why do you want to spend that effort on that? Start the code gen, record it. See, you are automating your test case. Remember one thing, you need to understand the functionality. Okay, and this is where you guys see here, I have automated the test case. I gave a name called add user. What I'm doing it, if you look at here in the logic wise, okay, I'm saying yes. So yes, I'm going log into that application, then going clicking on the admin, clicking on the add, everything by get by role. Some places where the get by role is not there, they'll identify using locator. We are going and you can see here, this is what I have recorded. So this will go and click on, then I want to click on this arrow mark and click on that. That's what I'm doing it here. So this guy is going to say dot first click and then go and have an option called admin click. Okay. Next is I wanted to click on this and then type a. So that's what I'm doing it here, guys. Okay. Next is I want to go here employee name. Employee name is basically which will auto populate. So moment I type A, there is a list of user is going to appear. I wanted to. Now here I wanted to tell you something, but let's experience the problem and then you will guys learn it a lot. This is what, if you see here guys, what I'm going to do here, I'm yes. So here I'm just going and saying await page dot get by text, and what is my user is. Okay, suppose Ranga Ankul. So I'll take this name and I'll say get by text because anyway they click. After that, I'm going and entering the user called some user Dixit 5, something like here. Right? And after that, I'm going and checking whether on the in the table, after creating it in this page, whether the user got created or not. So as per the operation, I just recorded everything. Here, this is all my recorded. And then going and clicking on this profile picture as well. Okay. Now let me show you if I'm going to run this script. Let's see, whenever you record anything, always good practice guys, go and execute. So I'm going to execute this. Add user. notice that. Can anyone tell me what could be the reason for failure? By reading the error message, are you able to understand something? And how do you articulate that error message? So if you look at the error message, it clearly says timed out 5000 milliseconds. You remember I told you in Playwright we have two types of time. Anyone remember what are the two types of time?
The global timeout is 30 seconds, and for assertions it is 5 seconds.
So it is clearly saying that its assertion is failing. Can you see here? What could be the reason why assertion is failing? What comes in your mind? Because whenever we add user, you would have noticed one thing. Whenever we add user and click on save button, it takes time to come to this page, correct? Now, first things that will come to my mind, okay, my timing is, so I'll go to your aspect and here I'll increase the time. We have discussed about, right? We have two types of time. There is two types of time. One we add it like this. It's always good practice to give maximum whatever you want. The advantage is if it will take 30 seconds, it will come out. It will take 50 seconds, it will come out. It will take 2 seconds also, it will come out. It will not wait for 80 seconds. 80 is the maximum limit. Similar way for expected statement, I'll also add here also 80. That is maximum. Okay. But if you guys try to understand this, I've increased the time. Now let's run that and check. See, Playwright error message is quite close by, but how do you differentiate it? Is that error because of the timeout issue, or is this error because of my technical reason? Got it? Now, for example, if you see here, my script is going to fail. Why it is going to fail?
That user already exists. Multiple users are there, it is trying to find.
Correct. It means, what does it say? Will you blame your application? Answer is no. My application has a very predefined guidelines that any duplicate entry is not allowed. Means if you have a user already there, you can't do that. Right? So if I have to solve the problem, what is my next job? I'll go here, wherever I am using a user called Dikshit 5. I'll change it to Dikshit 9, something. And then go and superb. It works, right? But do you think it's called automation? Is this automation?
No.
No. Why do you think it's not automation?
Because every time we'll have to come and change the user. Rather passing it dynamically, we are just changing the users.
See, what is the meaning of automation? You have automated it. You should not bother about, right? You don't go home. It should automate, right? Now, why it is not happening? Because application has a like this, and you have automated as it is. That's what I told you. In automation, you have to automation and manual. This is the difference. See, if I am automating this, if I see there is a user by name called Dikshit 9, and I get this error message, I have an immediate option to go and change it to 10. Human can do anything in this world, but tool cannot do anything or everything. Tool will only do the guided things. The way you guide, they'll behave. Now, I'll show you one more concept. See, here when we type you see some user will come. And you would have noticed that from the day 1 to till now, these users are keep changing. Correct? Today is something, tomorrow will be something, right? You would have also seen here the name of this drop down. For Nitin, I told him to Don't use that. Why? Because that is dynamic. You can't handle dynamic things in automation. You can handle dynamic, but that is called non-dynamic. You are aware about it. It's a dynamic, but non-dynamic. Dynamic is two types. Suppose, if you see here in my script, what I'm doing, I'm saying, hey, go and fill A, and once you fill A, it will display the Rankankul. Imagine tomorrow I run this script and someone has removed the data called Rankankul. Suppose, just to showcase you, I've added a user call. It was yesterday when I recorded, it was there. Today when I'm doing, it is not going to be there. Possible, right? You can't go and blame someone saying that, hey, someone removed the data, hence my script is failing. You can't. See, here we type A. After typing A, we are trying to go and select the Abhidikshit. But there is no Abhidikshit here. What will happen? How long it will wait before throwing the error message?
80 seconds.
80 seconds, correct? Why 80 seconds? Because we have changed the time. So, see, timing concept is good, but it is advisable. That's what Playwright has given 30 seconds. Because any application does not appear in 30 seconds is not a good application to test. If you increase the time, tomorrow for the genuine failure also it will wait for 80 seconds before it throws there. So your execution time will become slow. So Playwright has given that option, but Playwright always says use that time very effectively. Fine, guys? Okay, you can see here, it failed. Why it failed? Because there is no user call. Now, if you look at this technically, guys, everyone, this is a dynamic. Dynamic means what? See, today it will have this name, tomorrow it might not have. And this page is mandatory, this field is mandatory, I can't leave blank. If I ask you guys how to handle this, any idea, anyone, any guess? How will you handle it? You can't go and blame saying that it is a data issue or it is someone else has removing. No, it's okay. It is your scripting issue, your logic issue. This is where I was telling to all of you, automation is not about tool or not about programming. Automation is all about application, functionality, behavior, and logic. How you are thinking. See,
Just
it is like
just we are going to create a random string and we are passing the value there.
Random string. Random string in the sense, not random string, rather we are going to say, hey, when I type A, whatever the name is coming, I'm not bothered. I want to select any one value because I cannot leave this field blank. So I want to, based on the index, based on the certain things, right? It's a dynamic, but we can handle because it's called non-dynamic. So here, guys, rather than doing this activity, what I'll do is, the Playwright has this option, I'll use this concept. So in Playwright, we have a concept called, we can use this pay.keyboard.press. Playwright has built it. Any keyboard operation you want to, arrow down. So when you type A, the list comes. From the list, I'm saying, okay, press the arrow down and then press Enter. Got it? You want to do the 2 times, then you can say, press the arrow down 2 times and then press Enter. Okay, there is another concept. See, this whole application has been loaded. I'm not talking about the application. application has been loaded, but when you type here A, it takes some time. Today is taking less time. Tomorrow my database is huge. It takes time to display the value here. Again, your script will fail. Right? So if you want to give some forceful time, generally we not advise, Playwright has this command. Wait for time, just like a thread.sleep. I'm getting 5000. 5000 millisecond means 5. I'm saying after I type A, wait for 5 seconds. Then go and press the arrow down. Why I'm waiting? Someone asked me. Because my application data is slow. It is not application is slow, its data is slow. It only appear after few seconds. Got it? Now let's run this. See, your logic will purely work based on your knowledge of application. See, we typed A, it's taking time. We have given 5 seconds. Now they selected the second value because we said arrow down. We solved one problem. I have another problem. We'll solve that also later, but let's first have that. Okay. Everyone take this code. Whoever has access of code share, I'm going to share in the code share. Whoever does not have access, I'll also share in the chat. Okay, everyone take the code. What is the name of the script you are going to give? Please give a meaningful naming convention. I'm saying here orange HRM add user.specs.ts. Why I said like that? It will be easy for me to remember. Oh, I'm doing here the add user part. See, application is taking time to load this page. But yeah, now see it works. But if I run the next time, it will fail again. Can anyone tell me why it will fail?
Because of the name.
Because of the this application does not allow the duplicated. Now, if I ask you guys how to solve this problem, any idea?
By passing the names randomly, maybe some math.random logic.
Yes, you can pass that random number, but problem with the random number is I have to go and verify next page, right? How will I know that what user it got created, right? At least now I know I'm creating Dikshit 11 and I'm going and
No, while creating itself, we have to give the random one and we'll have to copy that, save it somewhere, and same thing we'll have to pass it while searching also. So that way there is an integration between both. Whatever we create, we're searching the same.
See, any problem statement will have a multiple solution. Some people can also do it like that, right? There is one more approach that I can follow, something like this. Go to here, search for all the user, right? Many people can think like this. That is also the good concept. See, I'll go here, look for the user, search all the user which has a Dikshit, go and delete it, and then go and create it. Even that option is good, right?
But it's a tedious job, right? Every time I create some 10 and I have to keep deleting them and come back.
Not why 10. I'll just create a Dikshit. I'll always go and delete Dikshit before. Right? See, but what you said is a valid point. It's a tedious process. I have to go search in this all the list of user Dikshit store, right? And then put the for loop and click on in front of that checkbox. Then go and, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I told, right? Any problem has a multiple solutions. What you are supposed to look for? Solution which is concrete, solution which is easier, solution which does not require too much of. See, ultimately what is my goal? My goal is to create a user. I want to verify the functionality of add user, whether I am able to add a user or not. Whenever the new build comes, I want to run the script, my script should run. Obviously, what she said is a valid point. I want to solve the problem of unique user. How will I do it? So right now, wherever I am hard coding the user is what I'll, now you go to any programming language, every programming language provide a concept of random class, many things. Java also has, Python also has, JavaScript also has, right? It's not like that is a concept of JavaScript. So I've created another script. I don't want to play around with the same code. So I gave a name called orange RM add unique user. Got it? And see, this is what I'm doing it. Earlier, here I was hard coding the method. Now what I'm doing? I'm saying, okay, Dikshit, and then this is a concatenation. See, this can behave as a concatenation, this can behave as a arithmetic operator also, depend upon situation. This is a concept in Java, Python, C# type everywhere. And what I'm going to say? I'm going to say that math.random is a one ready-made class, math random is a function in JavaScript and TypeScript. You have a similar concept in Java also, Python also, everything. I'm saying create some random number, attach that with the Dikshit and store into the one value. And now go and pass this variable name to my, and once I create the user, wherever I was earlier writing that saying that to contains text, I was hard coding, I'll say, hey, whatever the user I created, I'm storing to this variable, please verify whether the same user got created. So yes, what that is absolute. Just with a one line, I solved my problem. Why to go for the go search the user, delete the user, then again create data. It's a long approach. Okay. So take the code. Now here guys, logic comes in the picture. Here it is nothing to do with Playwright or Selenium. Selenium also the same concept will work. Playwright also the same concept. So logic is not going to change because of the tool, because of the language. See, it created something called Dikshit 5, some random number, right? My problem solved. I don't have to bother about now. This is called automation. Automation means you run, you don't think, you don't ask someone to change, don't ask someone to, hey, first delete the data before running, or you don't go and blame someone that, okay, someone deleted the data, so my script is failing. Automation should not be depend upon data, should not be depend upon someone mercy. Automation should not be depend upon if, but, all those nothing. Automation meaning is everything automation is taking care. Okay, Let me know guys in case anyone have any question and doubt after executing. Okay, is it working for everyone?
No,
It's fine?
Yeah.
Anyone, any questions? Clear, right guys? Okay. Remember one thing guys, whenever you are writing a code or recording a code, remember it is done by the AI. AI does not have a brain, AI is a guided approach. So AI will do based on their pattern, the way they have been guided. What you are supposed to go and modify. Like example, if you see here, AI has suggested me like this kind of locator. This is not a good pattern. Anyone can tell me what is wrong in this pattern?
Indexing.
Indexing. Why do you think indexing is a wrong pattern?
It can change.
It can change, absolutely. Understood guys, right? So what does it mean? Now tell me one thing. Why did the recorder did not thought about that? They can't. They don't have a brain. They are guided things, right? So here my advice for all of you, you should know how to write a effective, unique locator. You should not go and use like this way. Because if you do like this way, today it is working, tomorrow it might fail, and you know why it will fail? Because what he said is valid. Tomorrow suppose developer add one more child, it will become child 4. Or they removed one child, it will become child 2. So indexing is a bad pattern in automation. Never identify any object with the based on index. Never identify object which is dynamically changing. I told you, right, there is nothing called dynamic in A plus B equal to C, or it could be A plus B equal to D. Today is A plus B equal to C and tomorrow is A plus B is equal to Y. If you think your automation will guess, you are in the wrong place. Automation never thinks. Automation just does the guided approach. Even though it is like your car. Car you are driving on the road, right? And there is a traffic jam. Okay? As a human, I have a lot of options. I can go to the footpath, I can jump the one boundary, I can go to other side. Car cannot jump. Car cannot go on footpath. Car will follow the guidelines. If I am sitting in driverless car, Even the driverless car has a guided approach. It is running auto mode, but it doesn't mean that it will think like a human. Right? So, message what I'm trying to give you guys. Whenever you are identifying an object, look at the solid locator strategy, which will have very, very less chance to change. Like example, see, this is a good thing. Why Playwright is using get by role? Because tomorrow I can have a multiple text box in that page, but developer itself cannot add a 2 text box with the same name. They cannot keep a 2 text box with the same username. It could be a text box, but the name has to change. So if developer can't do, I can't do. If developer can do, even I can do. Okay, everyone. So yes, post recording, please go through your code, see what are the things need to be updated, update your code. That is where your logic, your brain comes in the picture. And make sure that your code, see, I look at here, I've used all the nth2, nth3. These are all lot. See, Playwright provide this concept, but this is not a good concept in automation. So these all the locators should be modified. Okay, like example you see here, earlier we were doing like this, user, right? Then we went and changed it. Okay, look for the get by role call image, which has a profile picture, click on that. So this is like fixed. And that is where, if you look at guys here, Playwright has given a lot of locator strats. So use the code gen, but don't just blindly go ahead with the codes for everything. Use the Playwright inspector, but don't go with the Playwright inspector for everything blind. And the reason is very clear. Because if you go with that, right, they will do based on their guided approach. See, the next situation that I'll be talking about, I may require to use XPath. And for that purpose, I have anything that you want to use, look at XPath, CSS, tag name, class name. See, look at here. The Playwright itself is saying the selector can break. When the DOM structure changes, long CSS or XPath chain below are the example of bad practice. Never do like this. And child 2, which has a this, which has a this, or like this kind of things are all bad practice. Write a XPath if you want to use, but use a very concrete. How many people knows how to write a XPath, guys? So Playwright does say that you can use XPath, but they do not encourage people to use XPath for everything. They say only if you are not able to solve certain problem, go for XPath. No need to go for CSS, guys, because XPath solve everything's problem. The difference between CSS and XPath, anyone knows? CSS only goes from the top to down. If you have to identify something based on the child to parent, you cannot do it with a CSS. CSS only follow parent to child. Okay? But XPath follow both. Parent to child, child to parent. And XPath is, guys, 2 types. Absolute, and another is called. Anyone knows what is the difference between the absolute and relative? Many people would have used it.
Yeah, absolute, it will come from the arching. Relative, it will go to the exact location and take them.
So anyone who wants, this is good for knowledge. You are not going to use it both. Only we are going to use relative. Anything with a single slash is absolute. Anything with a double slash is relative. See, single means I want to identify my brother in my family. Absolute means I'll go to my great grandparents to grandparents to my parents to my brother. It's a long chain. That's what we call as absolute. Relative means I'll just go directly with my brother name with his other property. That's what we say. And this is how people generally write the XPath. We say tag name, attribute name equal to single quotes, attribute, attribute name, and if you have to write a XPath, guys, remember, for anything you have been asked to write a XPath, you can always write it. Suppose someone asked me to write it for anything. It's a simple strategy, guys. Someone asked me to write for a username. Right click, inspect element. See here, first thing you have to look for the tag name. So tag name is input, and then any properties. Before equal to is attribute, anything after equal to is value. So I'll say here, this is how I'll write. I'll say / input, and if I say like this, everything is input. But I'll say here, hey, look for name which has name called user. See, only one is identified. Because here I am giving a reference like this. This is like very similar to, in Playwright we have a concept called get by row. Look for the tag like a text box whose name is this, something like this. XPath also follow the same concept. The only benefit with XPath has a lot of concept. You can identify parent to child, child to parent, sibling concept, many more this kind of different concepts available in. Okay, and that is not available in, guys. That is what people go and use the XPath. We'll be using that XPath concept in certain situation. Hence, I wanted all of you to little read and come back tomorrow. But before we wind up for the day, let me talk about one more concept, and that we call as a, because we have done today only one operation till now, is called create and read. We are done, right? Read is anyway not. We have to still do the update and delete. I told you, any application you go, 15 to 20 controls and those 4 CRUD operations. Okay. So there is one more concept, guys, we have, which we call as a debugging concept. Anyone has heard about, guys, debugging? What is debugging? What is debugging? What is the purpose of this? The name itself suggests want to debug the code, right? Does Selenium has an option to debug? Anyone?
Yes.
No. How do you do the debugging in Selenium? Anyone?
Breakpoint using.
Breakpoint. You have to depend upon the Eclipse or IntelliJ, correct?
Yes.
Selenium does not have. Same concept in Playwright also. People go and use that, like example, suppose I have this code. Till login I am fine. I can go and put a breakpoint. See, this is the call breakpoint. But Playwright says I don't want to depend upon third party. So in Playwright we have a inbuilt capability, guys, for the debug. Suppose this is my code and I want to debug it. Till login I am confident. After login I have a doubt. So from whichever the line you have a doubt, you can just go and write like this, await page dot. So they have built one command, pause. You know what is the pause does? It will pause your execution at this line level. Let's see. can see application is very slow now, right? And moment it click on login, after that you have given the page.pause. Now what will happen? The Playwright will bring this Playwright inspector. And they will pause that your execution. And this is called halting the execution of that. And in the Playwright inspector, they have built all this concept. You have a concept, guys, here is called step over. Step over means run line by line. Now from here onwards to till the last line, I want to execute my code and see where it is failing, why it is failing. Anything you want to do, see? You can also put a console.log and you can check the log, many other things you can do. Okay, so now I'm going to do line by line. See, now I'll go and say click on admin, they'll put the cursor there. It's waiting for to click on admin. I'll say click on admin, it will take me to the next page. Now it is waiting for the add button. You can see that it's highlighting here. I'll go and say click on add button. Now I'll go and say here see, this is a dynamic number. Okay, now suppose after this I don't have a doubt. I want to execute the remaining line of code in one go, not like line by line. Then you have also option called resume. Click on that, all the other line, they'll execute it. Okay, so this is what I was telling you. Playwright is not dependent upon it. They have built it everything for the user. Even debugging, they have built it. And once your job is done, you can always make sure that you don't leave it as it is. It should be commented out. So I don't have to depend upon guys third party. These guys has everything in built capability. Okay, anyone, any question? I'll pause it here for the day before we wind up. Any question? I hope you all are following it. You all are able to